Yo, what's up guys? My name is Destiny and welcome back to another video in the Django and React chat application series. And on this one, we're going to go ahead and start working with creating a message detail where we're going to retrieve all the messages that two users that engaged in a conversation have previously had. So that's what we'll be doing in this video. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Do make sure to drop a like on the video, consider subscribing to the channel as it will really mean the world to me. So let's go ahead and get started. So the very first thing that I will do is go ahead and open up my code editor. So okay, this is what we're working with over here. Hopefully you guys already know this. So this one over here, we're going to be getting all the message from the database. We're going to be creating a new message and doing all this. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my app with my default code editor. In my case, it's Visual Studio Code. So you should still do the same thing. And before we continue, I'm just going to go ahead and zoom this in so that you guys can actually see clearly what's going on here. Okay, hopefully this is visible enough. Now, I'm going to open the front end app, this one over here, or the front end directory. And I'm going to open up the source and open up the views. And in here, in the views, I want to create a new one. And I'm going to call it message detail.js. Hopefully you guys already know that you could call this whatever you want. You could call it banana, you could call it Shakespeare, you could call it milkshake. It's up to you what you want to call it. But in my case, I want to call it message detail just to stick to naming convention. Okay, so after we've done that, there are a couple of things that we need to import. And we can actually go ahead and open up this previous message detail that we had. Not the message detail, the message JS that we had, and let's just import everything that we have here at the top. But before that, I want you to hit RFCE on your keyboard to go ahead and open up or create this default boilerplate code for us. And after that, we need to import all this. Okay, so hopefully I've already told you guys, if you want to get the extension that helps you or easily helps you create the boilerplate code just by hitting RFCE on your keyboard, then you want to download a template called ES6 ES7 JSX. Actually it's a really long name, so I'm just gonna go ahead and open it. This is it over here: ES7 React Redux and React Native snippets. So go ahead and download this extension and you should be able to use the same shortcuts that I am using. All right, so now that you've done this, the next thing that we're gonna do is just go ahead and I think just continue working on the things that we need to work on. So the first thing that we need to do over here is just go ahead and, for now, I'm just gonna get into the function here and let's define our base URL. So I'm gonna be creating, hopefully you guys already know, right now I'm already making a tutorial for a fully functional e-commerce platform using Django and React. It's a multi-vendor e-commerce platform, and trust me, that would be really amazing. And in that course, we're going to be covering every single thing that you need to know about React. So right now, we're just creating this application from scratch. But in that course, we're going to create an application from scratch, and we will also start, tweaking our application to be production ready, something like that. For example, we are not supposed to be doing this here. You see, we're like repeating ourselves, defining the const base URL here, just defining this constant variable and also defining it over here. Rather, we're supposed to just put this in something like an environment variable and, just bring it in here instead. But we are not doing that, and a whole lot of things that we're not doing. But don't worry, we're going to be doing it in that course, and trust me, you guys will really enjoy it. Don't worry, in a very short time, I don't know, maybe a month or two, it should be out, and we will have a lot of things to learn there. So in the message detail, I define the const base URL. You can define this here, or you can also define it outside here. It's up to you where you want to do it. But I just want to define it in the function. All right, no specific reason. Now for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and define okay, hopefully you guys already know that we're gonna be getting all the messages from the API. Hopefully you are aware of that. And for that, what I want to do is quite simple. I'm gonna go ahead and define a state. So I'm gonna set a state, and the first thing that I need is create constant variables. The first one will be message, the other one will be set message. If you've been following along in my React tutorial, I'm sure I shouldn't be explaining this again because I'll be kind of repeating myself. I've actually explained this in a whole lot of videos. What we're pretty much doing over here is initializing a new state that we hold in an array. Okay, so after we've done that, the next thing that we want to do is just go ahead and instantiate the axios and everything that we've done before, like this. Okay, you can actually just grab this if you don't want to repeat yourself or type it out again. Just grab it and paste it down here. It's as simple as that. Okay, you don't need to type it. It's still the same thing that we will be using and the same thing that I want to type now. So after you've done this, let's just go ahead and use the use effects hook. I don't know, whenever I say use the use effects hook, it sounds somehow because there is already a word called use, and I'm trying to say use the use. I don't know if you understand. So let's just go ahead and use the use effects hook. That sounds weird. So I'm just gonna get down here and define a new use effects like this. Hopefully you guys already know that it's a function, and in this case it will be an arrow function, and that's pretty much everything that we want to do. So the first thing that we need to do is just go ahead and get all the messages that a user have had. Okay, but before I do this, I want to go ahead and show you guys how our API looks and works, and hopefully that should give you a more better idea to understand what's going on and how we will be structuring our API and everything to work. So I want to create run my server actually, and I just seed it into the back end over here, and I'm gonna run python manage.py run server, as simple as that. Okay, so we give our server a couple of, okay, it's running as you can see. Now I'm also going to go ahead and you can actually run your npm start over here if you want to do that. For now I don't need it, so I'm just going to go ahead and actually open up my base URL over there, and I'm going to come over to /API just like this, and as you can see I have all this. Now if I visit my back end, visit API, visit URLs py, then you will see that we have this one over here that is called get messages. So hopefully you already know that this function that we wrote over here is going to get all the messages that two users have had. For example, let's say I have actually engaged in a message between let's say I've actually engaged in a message with someone called John and my name is Destiny. So this function over here is going to grab the sender ID, let's say it's Destiny that started the message, and the receiver ID, which is John, and it will get all the messages that Destiny and John have had. I don't know if you understand. That's pretty much what we're trying to achieve now. So now that we've done this over here, we just need to go ahead and try. I'm gonna write this in the try catch. It's up to you how you want to do it. You can actually just write it without putting it in a try catch, but you know, if we get an error, this is one of the best and wise way that we should actually console log our error and know what's going on. And after this, I'm just gonna say axios.get, because it's a get request to actually get all the messages. We are not trying to post. When you post, that means you're trying to create something in the database, all right? Or when you patch or put, that means you're trying to update something in the database. But when you get, that means you're trying to get maybe a query, a filter, or an array, or a query, something like that. Okay, so after we've done this, I'm just gonna say plus, and what is this called? The base URL, which is this over here, our port 8000. Then I'm gonna grab this get messages over here. Then we just need to put it in the string and plus. So what we're trying to do now is call this URL over here. So there's sender ID and there is a receiver ID. Okay, so how do we get a sender ID? That's pretty much the user ID, the one that we grabbed over here for the person that's logged in. Now it will get kind of tricky. So how do we get the other person's ID? I don't know if we actually did this. Maybe I skipped it, but you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this real quick now so you guys will see what's going on. First of all, I'm gonna cd into front end and I'm gonna run npm start. So I can just write this code, you know, just write this code sequentially and we'll be done with it, but I actually do not like doing that. I want to explain everything that's going on so that you guys will actually understand what's going on. npm start. It says code module not found, require stack, blah blah blah. What's going on here? We actually have all our node modules. Okay, React scripts. Did I re-import that? I'm gonna hit npm I. This is gonna go ahead and install all the packages that are in the React script. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here. All right, there you go. That's installing. Or should we just go ahead and keep writing the code? I actually want to explain something so that you guys can, have an understanding of what's going on. Because right now, what we are trying to do is look for a way to get the receiver ID. We got the sender ID, right? The sender ID is the ID that is stored in the JWT token that we saved in the local storage. Now we need a way to retrieve the receiver's ID. Now the URL parameter will be formed like this. Let's say this is our port 8000. Then we will have the sender ID. Let's say Destiny's ID is number 1. Then we will have the receiver's ID. Let's say John or whoever is number 23 in database. So this is how it will be constructed. Can you see this? This is how it will be constructed. So now the number 1 over there is Destiny, but how about the number 23? How do we get that? So just like I'm trying to say here, this URLs will be appended here. Now we're gonna use React to get whatever URL that was appended at the ending, or I could say the use params instead, because in React we will not be making the URL look like this. Instead, we will add only the receiver's ID, and this one will be gone. All right. So this is how we do it in React. We will invisibly, let me use that word, we've already got this, so we will invisibly pass Destiny's ID, which is the sender ID, to the API, and we will append this one over here to the URL. Then in React, what we're gonna say is, hey React, just hop over to the URL and use the use param hook and get whatever parameter is in the URL. Then bingo, it's gonna get the 23, which is the receiver ID. And all we just have to do is just go ahead and pass it here. We're gonna say plus, then over here we're gonna say something like plus, then receiver ID. I don't know if you understand what's going on. Well, let's just go ahead and run our npm stats. Okay. There is a problem. Let me actually see what's going on. So hold on guys, let me see what's going on. I see it into front end. Why do I have 2 node modules here? That doesn't make any sense. I have 1 node module in the front end. I also have another one over here. Let's see, why is this one over here? You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of it. Do I even need it? No. But I don't want to break the program. I don't even need all this package JSON. This node modules, I think it's not a big one though. Any moment from now we should get deleted. And we also want to delete the package log, this one, and also delete this one. We don't need those. I don't know, is it the node module that's causing the error? Delete this one also, I don't need that. Then open up the moments. We got a lot of these here. I think that's what's just slowing this down. Delete, that's gone. Delete. You know what, I'm gonna mark this. Just mark, delete this tree. There you go, those are gone. Mark. This is not where moments.js is supposed to get installed. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I actually missed out something. Then delete this one. There you go. That's done. That's done. But this stuff over here, okay, keeps loading. So just debug with me and let's see what's going on. I'm gonna run my npm start again. Hopefully we get the error again so that we can debug. All right, there you go. So it says module not found. I'm gonna expand this. Let's go up and see what's going on. Front end node module dot bin, front end slash node module dot bin not recognized as an internal or external command. Is it the bin over here? Okay, so just give me some time. Let me actually debug this and see what's going on. Okay guys, so I've been taking a close look at what's going on, and it actually took a lot of time, but I actually noticed something. Now, as you can see, I dragged out my front end template from this folder over here onto my desktop. And that is because if my front end folder is in here, it shows the issue. It shows the module not found issue, remember? But if it's out here and I actually cd into the front end, this one over here, and run npm start, everything works successfully. So I don't know, maybe something is actually wrong behind the scene that I cannot see. But what I want to do now is just go ahead and create a new folder. I'm gonna call this one chat, just like this, and I simply want to drag the back end, or just copy and paste it in here. Okay, as simple as that. And this is my front end. I'm also just going to drag that and put it in here, and that shouldn't take much time to copy. You should just process everything and just copy that at once. So I initially thought that deleting the node module and installing it again is going to fix the issue, but it actually did not fix the issue. But let's try this one now and see what's going to happen. All right, so I'm just going to open this now with my code editor, or let's just do this with command prompt for now. So I'm gonna cd into chat, this one over here, and in there I'm gonna cd into front end, and I will run npm start. Okay, so run npm start. As you can see, it shows this, and it should start booting up, opening up the live server. And this one I'm gonna cd into the chat again. I'm gonna cd into the chat here, cd into the chat. I'm gonna cd into backend, and I'm gonna run python manage the py. I will run my server. So what's going on with this one? Okay, as you can see, it's actually working. See, it's starting the development server, and it's opened that up, and this one actually here is running our server. So yeah, everything is working fine. I think I had maybe a naming issue with the directory over there. Yeah, maybe I had a naming issue with it, because if you take a close look, you see that I actually changed up some things. All right, so this is templates. I don't know, maybe there is an issue. I'm just gonna put underscore to the template. I'm gonna copy it and put it in my chat. Okay, and let's still confirm that everything is working as expected. It's showing one warning and all that. I'm gonna break out from my server and run it again. All right, there you go. As you can see, it's working again. Okay, this is perfect. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and open up this in my I'm gonna open it up in my Visual Studio Code, but let me go ahead and delete this one. I won't be using that any longer, and I'm gonna put this in its rightful place and open this with code. All right, so I'm gonna close up the command prompt that I opened, and every other thing that I don't need, like the desktop, and that should be it. So open up my integrated terminal again, and I'm gonna cd into front end for this one and run npm start. Hopefully we don't get the error again, but if we get it, we're gonna go ahead and fix it. For this one, I'm gonna cd into backend, and I will run python manage the py, run server, and that should run my server over here while my React development server is starting. So yeah, there you go, it started. Okay, so it's started, and my server is also running. So I can log out. As you can see, it's logged out. I can also go ahead and log in. As you can see, it will log me in. I can come over to my inbox. I can set it to inbox that I had. Now this is where what I want to show you guys. So in the front end, source and app.js, yeah, so in the app.js, we need to go ahead and import remember the messages thing that we just created right now, the message detail. So we just need to say import message detail. Are you sure the message detail is still there? Let's just confirm that. There you go, the message detail is still there. Let me just copy that, come over to app.js, and I'm gonna say import message detail from, it should be the same place, but this time around it should be message detail. All right, so that shouldn't give any issue. As you can see, it's working perfectly well, and I will put that in a private route and just register this as message detail. And for this one, we're gonna have an inbox, and this inbox should have a parameter in it, and the parameter should be the receiver's ID. or I'm just going to call this ID. All right. So remember what I explained before. That's exactly what we're doing now. The API has something. We are supposed to do something like user ID. We're supposed to do something like user underscore ID first of all, then do ID. But no, we will be passing in the user ID dynamically from what we got from the local storage JWT JSON. All we need is this over here. So based on this that we've done now, if we go ahead and open up our message.js, I'm gonna open up message.js. All right, and in the message.js, what we pretty much want to look for is actually the anchor tag that when we click on this, it's going to take us to the new message. So this is it over here, this one. Now, before we do anything, let's go ahead and import link. So I will import link from React router DOM. Is that CJS? I don't know. It's supposed to be link just from React router DOM. I don't know. Let's get rid of all this other one. And yeah, that's working. So copy the link. Instead of using an A tag, which will still work, I want to use a link so that we don't have to refresh the page when we are directing the user to another page, and so that everything will work, in real time. So after we've done this now, I'm going to go ahead and for now, let's just pass in the two attributes. So hopefully you know what the two is. It will be pretty much where you want this URL to go to when it's clicked on. In my case, I want it to go to a page called inbox. There shouldn't be a quotation at the front of it. Go back. So take away the quotation at the front and back of the line. And I want to go over to /inbox, and after /inbox, I also want to go over to message.sender.id. For now, let's just do that. Message.sender.id. As simple as that. Now, let's go ahead and see if this works. I'm getting an error over here. What's going on? Okay, it says cannot read undefined ID. Message. Oh yeah, that's supposed to be message.sender.id, not messages.sender.id. This should work now. There you go, it's working. So now it's showing undefined. It's showing undefined. So when we click on this now, see, it's showing undefined. So we actually need to pass in the sender's ID there so that we don't have an issue. So message.sender, I'm gonna get rid of the ID thing. Let's see. All right, there you go. It's working. So just message.sender should actually do the trick. But let me open up my console log, and I will open up this array over here and try viewing what my sender looks like. There you go. This is my sender over here. We just have the number 1 or number 2 or whatever that we're passing in. Okay. So we don't have maybe like an ID field. It's only the profile that actually has the ID field. So when you call just the sender, it's going to pass back the ID to you. All right. So now when we click on this, this is supposed to actually open up the new page that we just created right now. So what's going on? It says request failed status code 404. Okay, I think I know what's happening. Yeah, see, it's trying to make a call to the API, but it's not gonna work. That's because remember we haven't actually finished writing the code then. So what if I just go ahead and comment this out so that we don't have any issue? Now this should work well. So as you can see now, we are opening up a new page. This new page here is gonna have it's gonna be the message detail. All right, and how will we know that that's message detail? If we just get down here and comment out the nav bar, then you should see there you go. As you can see, message detail. Now whatever ID that's passed in here is going to be the receiver's ID. Now this ID that's passed in here, that's what we want to grab using React and put it here, and we want to put it here. Okay, so how do we grab that? Now we need to import something from, I'm gonna say import use params from React router DOM. I don't know why it keeps importing from the CJS thing. So use params, as simple as that. Now we need to go ahead and actually instantiate the use param to actually work as needed. So what do we need to do? I'm just gonna go ahead and let's just get down here and say const ID. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it receiver's ID because that is what it will be. I'm just gonna instantiate the use param or initialize it. And to actually see what that holds, I'm gonna go ahead and log the ID. So let's see what it will give back to us. Okay, that's not still working. This API is not working yet. Can we just go ahead and comment that out so that we'll see what's going on? There you go. As you can see, it gave us the use param called ID and it's 1. So how did it actually know that it's called ID? That's because in the app.js over here we called this ID. So how about we call this hello? Call that hello, and there you go. As you can see, hello has the value of 1. So I'm just gonna stick with ID. You could call it the receiver's ID, you could call it whatever you want. Hopefully you guys understand what we're trying to do here. So as you can see now, we've tried and figured out a way to actually grab the receiver's ID. All we need to do now is just go ahead and pass the receiver's ID down here. All right, as simple as that. And that's pretty much it. Okay, but if you pass it down there, remember when we had this, it's actually in a dictionary. So for you to go ahead and get only the number 1, you need to say id.id. So the first ID is this one that we just defined over here. So let's say this is banana, then you're gonna say banana dot then whatever this one over here was called. In our case, it's ID. Where is it? There you go. So banana dot ID, and that should work perfectly well. Apart from the fact that we are still getting this API error, that's because we need to add a slash over here. Okay, I think we also need a slash at the end. Okay, yeah, we also need a slash here, and we also need a slash here. Okay, so what's the issue now? It says ID is not defined. Okay, banana.id. Okay, yeah, that's it. This ID over here this one needs to be banana for it to actually work. Okay, it says ID is not defined, ID is not defined, ID is not defined, blah blah blah. Are we having another ID issue? You know what? I'm just gonna stick to naming convention. I'm gonna say this should be ID, this over here should be ID, then this should be ID. Hopefully you get the logic of what I'm trying to say about the IDs. Okay, so this says chat message got unexpected keyword arguments many. Let's see what's happening over here. Seems we have an API issue. So it says chat message got an unexpected keyword argument many in the context. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my backend, open up the APIs, open up the serialize, and I will look for the class that serializes the chat message, which is this one over here. And let's see what's going on. It says chat message. Okay, so we are actively getting an error now. How about we manually change this to number 2? But instead of doing that, let's first of all check out the users that we have in our admin section. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my admin section, and now I will open up users, and I just want to see Sammy is user number 2. So I'm just gonna get down here and change this to user number 2 and hit enter. Let's see if we still get the error. All right, yeah, we're still getting the error. This time around, it's another error. It's 500. Let's see what's going on. Okay, seems, yeah, it's still the same error. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually debug this and see what's going on. Okay, so looking at this actually is a serializer error, because you can see, I don't know, but if you actually a little bit experienced with this, you will know that just by looking at this, it might be a serializer error from this menu over here. So I'm gonna open up my code again. Let's hop back to the URLs, and actually this is the API we're trying to work with. So I will open the get messages view, and let's take a close look at this. What's going on? Serializer class, chat message, permission class. Oh, okay, as you can see, serializer class is supposed to be chat message serializer. I did not import that. So it's supposed to be chat message. Okay, so what's the issue here? Okay, it's called message serializer, not chat message serializer. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm just gonna get down here and let's go ahead and replace that with message serializer and make sure that our server is running again. I'm gonna run my server and make sure that it's running as expected. And as you can see here, it's running. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh this code one more time to actually see if we still get the error that we were initially getting. Okay, so now it's a 401 error. So what's the issue? Let me hop back to my console and see what's going on. Okay, yeah, it's a token refresh error. Yeah, it's a token refresh error. So what we could do is just go ahead and I think let me clear the local storage. I'm gonna go over to the application, come over to local storage, and I'm just gonna go ahead and clear the local storage. And if we get back here, let's refresh this. So we refresh this now. By default, it returns us to the login page because the user is not logged in and trying to access the message inbox page. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and log in. As you can see, it sets the auth token. And how about my headers? Why are they not showing? In my app.js, I commented out my header. That actually escaped my mind. Now my header should be here. As you can see, it's working. So now if I open this up, see, it's working perfectly well. No more errors. If I open this up, it's working perfectly well. No more errors. So now I just need to go ahead and hop back to the message detail JS again. Message detail JS, and we want to do something very simple. So after getting the message, definitely it's gonna return a response. After making a call to that API, it's gonna return a response to us. So let's go ahead and log that response and see what it is. So I just call this res. You can actually call this banana. Okay, it's a parameter, so you call it whatever you want. Just pass that in there. And let's get back here, open up my console one more time, and I will refresh this again to see. Okay, what we are supposed to actually check is banana.data. Okay, so banana.data, there you go. As you can see, it's returned a couple of data back. These are the chat message that I have had with Sammy. Okay, so these are all the chat message I've had with Sammy. This is hello Sammy, send the messages in the browser. Hey Sammy, and I'm gonna open up this one, and hello Sammy, send the messages in the browser, blah blah blah. And this one again, my new message. So these are all the messages I've sent with Sammy, and that's why I'm getting them over here. So let's stick to naming convention and name this res or response. It's up to you what you want to name it. All we just need to do is go ahead and actually set, remember the states that we set before previously when we started the video. Now I'm gonna go ahead and set all those messages that we are getting. I'm gonna set it to that state, and this should run in an infinite loop because we need to actually specify or add the dependency array. Just leave it empty so that it will break this and it will not run forever again. All right, that is pretty much everything that we need to do for now. So after we've done this, then the only thing that's left is to just go ahead and populate this in our templates and we should be done. But there is one more thing that I want to do. Hopefully you guys already know that we will be getting messages in real time. All right, so I'm actually going to show you guys how to do that later. But for now, let's go ahead and just populate the templates. It's everything that we're getting. One more thing that I want to do is just go ahead and actually fetch the profile of the user. Remember that we wrote this code over here. Let me see. Remember that we wrote this profile detail code that fetched the detail page of a user. We're going to be making very good use of it. But I think let's just start off by actually setting up the template so it works as expected. So what I will do is in the message JS, I will just grab any of this. I'm going to grab this div over here because it will look identically the same, and I will paste it down here. Okay, and let's refresh this. Thinking we should get an issue, yes, because messages isn't defined. It's not defined. Link is not also defined. Let's go ahead and import this. Just two things. Definitely, we will still be needing them in this page. So go ahead, import link. Go ahead and create a new set state. Call it set message. All right. so that we don't have those issues that we had there. There you go. This is now working perfectly well. So one thing that you could even do is just come over to the message.js, and you see this use state over here, the one that brings in the messages, copy it, and you could just paste it at the top of this over here, so that we still get the messages here on this list over here. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say there. Okay, so user ID, hopefully everything is actually looking good as expected. This is messages.map. This is set message. Okay, there is an issue over there. I'm gonna call this one messages, and I'm gonna say this one should be okay. Let's go back one more time. There you go. Now what we should do over here is use set messages instead of set message for the first one, and this that one should be message. So messages is this one over here, the ones that are over here, and message will be the individual text that we are having with our friend or whoever. Okay, that's pretty much it. Set messages. I don't know why that's not working. That's in a use state. Okay, so that should be my messages, and just going through this now to see what's going on. Everything actually looks good. I'm gonna refresh the page one more time to see if there is actually something that I am missing, or maybe it's just a page refresh that's needed. All right, there you go. We refreshed our page, and what do you notice? Our messages are now coming in. There you go. That's perfect. You see, still loading though. That's why the images and all that are not there. There you go. As you can see, they are now coming in. This is perfect. So now what we want to do is quite easy. All we just need to do is go ahead, populate all the messages in the templates that we have below, and that should be pretty much it. So we're just gonna go ahead and start doing this right now. What I will do is I'm gonna come over to the message detail, and let's just search for position relative. There you go, this one over here. Search for that position relative, and there's an image in there. I just need to confirm everything that's going on. This over here, position relative is actually 2. This is the one I need here. This is that one, the one that has chat messages as the next class, then the one that has chat messages right as the other class, and it has an image. This is the one I'm looking for. All right, so now chat messages right. I'm gonna minimize this one and also minimize this one. So I want you guys to understand something here. The one that is left is not my message. The one that is right is my message. Okay, so whichever user is logged in, the messages that will be on the right will be for any user that's logged in, and the messages that will be on the left will be for their friends or for the other users actually. So that's pretty much it. I'm just collapsing all this now so that I can go ahead and get rid of all these messages that I do not actually need. I'm gonna get rid of it just like that, and this is for this. So let's just indent, to keep things looking good here. And when we refresh our page again, we shouldn't see all these messages over here. See, our React app is still loading. That doesn't make any sense. That shouldn't be it. That should be local. That should be local host 8000, not 8000, 3000 actually. So close up this one that's still loading. I don't need that any longer. And you want to come over to inbox. You want to click on any of this. We're still going to fix that later. Okay, for now it's not yet fixed. So I added number 2 there just manually because we're still going to do that later. And as you can see right now, I'm getting this message, one for me and one for the other user. This is just a dummy template. All right, we're gonna fill them in with the actual messages itself. Now I want to mess up with the class, mess around with one of the classes over there to see what's going to happen. So as you can see, I messed around with the left class, and this actually took a new shape, which means that's actually what I need. So for this one over here, this one that has the message, chat message, right, which means it's my message. Now I want to write a very simple conditional statement that will do this. So pay attention. This is what it will do. It will check for this. If it check for this, if the message.sender.id is not equal to the user.id. I don't know if you understand what that means. So if the person that sent a message is not the same person as the logged in user, then I want to show the message on the left, which is this one over here. But if the person that sent the message is the same person as the logged in user, now the logged in user is pretty much the user ID. That's what we're going to be using, this user ID over here. Then show the message at the right. It's a very simple conditional statement. You should be able to wrap your head around that real quick. So how do we actually get this to life using codes? I'm going to say message.sender if it's equal to user underscore ID. That's only when I want to show this code down here. I'm going to call this and put it down there. There you go. But it seems there is just a little bit of issue. That's because over here I need to go ahead and add in this ampersand so that we don't have any issue. And there you go. As you can see, we have this. It's gone. But there is still one more thing that I want to do. I want to go ahead and yeah, that's the issue. We need to firstly map our message so that we can actually use the message key in there. So I'm gonna say messages.map. Remember, messages is the one. Is it messages? Actually, it's not messages. It's message.map. So please don't confuse yourself about this. Messages is the list of all the messages that we have with our friends, the ones that are on the left, on the far left. Then message without the S is the single message that we have gotten between me and somebody. Please do not confuse yourself about that. So one thing that I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go ahead, and this is it over here. I'm trying to map right now. So I said message.map, and I want to pass in a message in here. I'm going to pass in the message, and I'm also going to pass in an index that we're going to be using for the key prop. And I'm just going to push this over there and wrap this down here. Please, I want you to understand what's going on. It's not difficult. It's very easy. Let me explain. This one over here is for this user. Please indent this so that we don't have issues and collisions. Okay, one thing that is causing this issue is because of the fragment. All right, so just cut this and open up React fragment, or you can actually call it a div. It's up to you, and paste this, and we shouldn't get that error again. There you go, the error is gone. So I just want to make sure that my code looks good. I want all this to be on one line. It's actually good to be on a separate line, but I want you guys to actually see what's going on. Let me push this all the way to the back. This is the time. I will put that on one line. So everything should be on one line so you guys can see how it actually working. Now, this and this get indented. This should get indented also. Now I'm gonna reduce that message. It's a little bit long. Okay, there you go for the first one. Now we're mapping through the message.map. Okay, so yeah, what's going on down here? I'm gonna come over to inbox, open this up, and can you refresh that so that we know the user that we're actually trying to open up? So I'm gonna open up any of these users. As you can see, I don't have any chats with myself, so it's empty. I will put in somewhere instead, and okay, there you go. See, I've got a couple of chats. It should be 4 because it's 4 conversations that I've had with Samuel. So remember, I wrote this conditional statement that checks if the user ID is equal to me, and it shows this. How about if it's the opposite, how about the person that sends the message is not me? Do I still want to show the message on the left or on the right? The answer is actually no. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say here. So I indent this and push this all the way to the back, and this one now just change it to not equal to. Okay, as simple as that. Now what do you notice? All the messages are on the right. This is indeed perfect. I'm going to hop over to the messages over here, and as you can see, the receiver of all those messages was Sammy. Sammy received all the messages. I'm going to go ahead and actually make Sammy to be the sender of one of those messages. So Sammy over there, that's your turn. Sammy, go. And the receiver should be Destiny. All right, there you go. And instead I'm gonna say hey Destiny, so it actually makes more sense. All right, now we could go ahead and refresh this. Okay, now what do you guys notice? We're now having one message over here. Everything is working perfectly well as expected. We just need to go ahead and change up a couple of things and we should be done. Okay, so I'm gonna get down here to we are not console logging that any longer, but just change this over here to message.message. You know what? You can actually still call this map over here M. So whatever you call this, that's what you should do over here. You should say m.message. So why did I use this message? Okay, that should be as you can see, I'm already used to Django. I'm using two curly brackets. So why did I say m.message? Remember, over here, this is a parameter. You can call this banana, okay? But this one over here is not a parameter. You cannot call it banana. Now, whatever the name of your model is that displays whatever field you want, that's what you should call over here. As simple as that. Now you see, hey Destiny, hello, there's this blah blah blah, hey Sammy, blah 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 blah, and all that kind of stuff. So let's refresh this one more time and see why all the messages were on the left instead of a couple of them being on the right and some being on the left. So what went on? Okay, you know, I'm gonna keep this back as message. So let's just keep this back as message. I'm gonna get rid of one of these and let's see, there you go. Okay, I think I had a typo there initially. So this is working now. As you can see, the messages are working. Instead of Sharon Lisman, don't worry, I'm gonna show you guys how to actually get the user profile and change their information. So say message.message again so that we can actually see all the messages. Hey Sammy, hello Sammy, sending a message, did this, blah blah blah. Then Sammy finally said, hey Destiny. I don't know if you guys are beginning to get a hang of what's going on and everything that we're actually doing here, as you can see. So I think that's for now is pretty much it. That's pretty much it. This video has really gotten very long. In the next one, we're gonna go ahead and get the profile of the user and actually change up their name and everything. Okay, or should we actually just do that right now? And in the next one, we will start doing something new, maybe like searching a user, which should be the last one. Yeah, maybe we should just do that in this tutorial. So let's just go ahead and grab the user information and actually put it down here. Okay, so how do we do this? Okay, so guys, as you can see over here, if you open this up, you will see that we are actually passing in a lot of message. But in the message, there is one very simple thing that actually looks nice, and that is the receiver profile field. Now, the receiver profile holds the full name, the image of the user, and the ID. That's perfect. So does that give you any hint? That means that we could go ahead and actually put in the name of the user, the image, and everything like that. All right. So what do we do? Now let's start off with the image of the user. Remember our simple logic that's checked for if the person that's logged in is the same person that sent the current message, then we want to go ahead and put them on the right. That's simple, right? So for this one, okay, you know what, I'm firstly gonna start off with this one over here. That's the logic I'm trying to talk about right now. So I'm gonna put this, and all we just need to say is message dot And what I want to grab is the sender profile. I'm gonna look for that. There you go. That's the sender profile. Message the sender profile dot then image. There you go. Image. So how is that gonna work? There you go. This is perfect. As you can see, we can now show my image over here. But it still seems to me like I'm having, oh yeah, I'm not having an issue. That's because I sent myself a message over here, which doesn't make any sense. So this is me. You could go ahead and change this, send out a profile dot full underscore name. It's up to you what you want to do. All right, see, that's up to you what you want to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and also copy the moments JS thing. Remember when we did the moment JS? I'm gonna grab that, and for the date, you see this date down here. I'm just gonna put the moments JS down there, and I'm gonna say message the date. There you go. A month ago, that was when I created all this, and that's pretty much it for this one. Destiny Franks. You know, play around with this. If you think U is more better than the name, then you do that. If you think the month is not good here, just play around with it. All right, it's all yours. The code is all yours. So down to this one. Remember that this one is for the sender. Then this one now, instead of using the sender, I don't know if you have an idea of what we will be using. We will be using the receiver's profile. Okay, so I'm gonna paste the moments thing down there so that we have the moments 15 days ago. That's cool. All right, and I'm gonna grab this one over here, and let's paste it down here. But instead of sender profile, you guys did right. It will be receiver profile. There you go. I'm gonna say receiver profile with the full name. Now we should see semi. That's amazing. And one more thing that I want to do is go ahead and grab this and replace it with the source of the image. And instead of full name, I'm gonna say the image. Then we should get the picture of what's going on? That's supposed to be the picture of Sammy and not my picture. So what's going on? Does Sammy have okay, yeah, I think there is an issue. As you can see, it's even saying Destiny Franks down here. Let's go ahead and give this page a hard refresh and see what's gonna happen. So refresh the page, and our messages are still loading up, but it's still showing Destiny Franks, which literally doesn't make any sense. So let's see what's happening. So if message.sender is not equal to user.id, the message.receiver profile. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of this now, and let's run this again. It just says hey Destiny. So how about I say message.sender profile? Yeah, I think it's not receiver. It should be sender, because they are the one that sends the message. That's my bad. It should be sender profile. All right. There you go, Sammy. That's nice. So copy this again and replace this with that, and we should now have Sammy's picture. That is perfect. That's pretty much it. We are done. As you can see, we cannot get their name and everything seems to be looking well to me, I think. So I think for now that's pretty much it. Let's just go ahead and work with this. So now when we hover on this, it just pops up whatever ID it wants, but there is a simple logic that we want to use for this. You see, this is Mazamat. Now if you hop over to our database, Mazamat should be the 4th user there if I'm not mistaken, or actually the 3rd, as you can see. But over here, when we hover on this, take a close look at the numbers that show down here. As you can see, it shows localhost 3000 inbox /1 instead of /3, which is Mazamat's message that I've had with her. That means if I open this up now, it's appended 1 over here, which means it's trying to get the message that I've had with myself, which is impossible. So I want it to append 3. That we will now go ahead and get the message that I've had with Mazamat. There you go. As you can see, I sent out a message, hi Max, about 15 days ago, if you guys can remember. Okay, yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and work on this right now. So where do we need to work on that? Yeah, this is the place over here. I'm just gonna put this 2 down there because it will be a little bit complex query that you guys should follow along with. You will understand what's going on. So I am sending them to inbox. I don't know, you could call this inbox message, or you could just say inbox Okay, it's up to you what you want to call it. So how do we append, instead of just appending the message.sender, how do we write a conditional statement to check if the sender of the message is equal to the logged in user? Then what we want to do is go ahead and append the receiver's ID, else we append the sender's ID. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me go ahead and do it, and hopefully you guys will understand. I'll still explain what's going on. So this time around, use a bracket. You can't use a curly bracket or braces to write a conditional statement in here because we are in an attribute. Okay, so I will say message.sender if it's equal to the person that is logged in. If it's equal to the person that is logged in, then I want to go ahead and add in the message.receiver, just like that. Else, I'm going to go ahead and add in the message.sender or the message.sender.id. All right, let's see what's happening. Can you guys see what's going on down here? Take a close look at this. Now, when I hover on this, it now shows 3, which means the conditional statement that we wrote is actually working well. It now automatically gets Mazamat's user ID, which is number 3. Okay, so as you can see, this is now working perfectly well. We can actually view a message. As you can see, we get the message. Now, the final thing that I want to do is go ahead and show you guys how to get messages in real time. So this one over here is one that helps us get messages in real time, right? Now we're gonna write a very simple set interval to actually loop through this every let's say every 2 minutes. Actually make a call to that function and get the messages, or the latest one I would say. So how do we do this? Now what I'm gonna do is this. I will let's see how to do this. I'm gonna grab this code. I'm gonna grab everything that's over here, and I'll say let's just call this interval be equal to, and I'm gonna say set interval, this one over here. It's gonna be a function. So yeah, do its thing and return the function. And in this function over here, in the get set interval, let's get the message every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds, we'll make a call to that function and try to get the message. And after we've done that, we still need to go ahead and return. So I'm gonna return a function. We just need to go ahead and also clear this function. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and run the clear interval. I'm just gonna set it down there so that it clears this interval that we're defining over here at this time. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense. So this is our code. See, this is running here every 2. I'm gonna put this code side by side, and this is Max, right? I'm gonna try messaging Max again. I'm gonna come over to messages, and I'm gonna add a new chat. This one is gonna be Destiny. Destiny is trying to message who? Max, and I'm gonna say, yo Max, it's been a while. It's been a while. And I'm just gonna go ahead and save this message. What do you notice? See, yo Max, it's been a while. Immediately it gets popped out down there. That's really amazing. So now let's say Max actually do want to reply us, and hey Destiny, and save. See, hey Destiny, a few seconds ago. This is working perfectly well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and learned something new. Everything is working as expected. In the next one, we're going to go ahead and start working with sending a message. Yeah, that's going to be it. I hope to see you guys in the next video where we're going to go ahead and start sending a message using React via the API that we have written. And until then, my love, peace out.